I just can't get enough of that. So this is the DJI RS4 Mini Pro, guys, and I have to say I'm truly impressed by this gimbal. But before I ramble along, guys, I'm going to show you a quick behind the scenes using the DJI Action 5 and my gimbal here. Guys, so as you can see there, guys, it's not much, but I just wanted to show you guys, if you're someone who has never been used to using a gimbal, this is the gimbal for you guys, because it's so easy for you to use. And not only that, guys, someone who's new to the gimbal ecosystem would have an easier time having steady and more smoother shots. When you look at some of the footage that I shot in that behind the scenes that I showed you guys, you can see how easy I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't do anything particularly technical. I just held it and did really slow movement with my feet. The one thing I must say that I did do the heel to toe when I was doing my actual walks, so that I could avoid the least amount of up and down movement with the gimbal. And I just let everything roll. And as you can see, it has this handle right here, and this really helped me to do a lot of low down shots with this gimbal, guys. And I must say, it has been really, really, really easy. And so let me get into just a couple things that I think you guys need to know. So this actual gimbal, it weighs about 890 grams, which is about 2 pounds. But the load, meaning the amount, the camera, the size and weight of camera that you can actually put on this gimbal, is going to be about 2 kilograms, which is 4.4 pounds. And this right here, guys, I have my A7 IV on here, and this is paired with my 35mm lens, and no problems. I'm going to show you, however, later on in the video, I actually have my 135. I haven't tested this yet. I just left this because I want to actually show you guys how easy it is to actually balance your gimbal with a large lens. So I will get into that in a little bit. But what I want to just indicate to you guys is One of the main features I personally got this gimbal for, I'm sure you probably have noticed in a video right here that I did on another gimbal from the OHM, and I literally sent it back when I found out about this gimbal, guys, because it's almost like DJI was actually listening to me, and they literally put the things that I really wanted, because as a solo content creator, guys, I want something that I can put my gimbal down, put it on a tripod, whatever it is, and I can have my camera actually follow me if I'm actually doing anything. I'm going to show you how easy it is, guys. If you notice, there's a red light on this camera right here. This is the new intelligent camera that they do have here, guys. And as easy as it is, I'm just going to show you. What I'll do is I'll make sure to have my thing out here. And the one thing I really like about this too, before I get further into the video, guys, if you press the power button once, it's actually going to put your camera in almost like a sleep mode, but what it does, it locks all the axes. So in other words, if you need to make any change, let's say you want to change a lens, if you want to press the record button on the camera, if you didn't connect it to your gimbal, you can easily do that without putting any strain on the arms. So I'm just going to do a quick thing. So let me just turn my camera on. So all I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to press the power button once. It's going to unlock all the axes, and then I'll turn the gimbal towards me so that you guys can actually see. But what I'm going to indicate to you guys is just watch the camera right here. Once I unlock it, you're now going to see that the light, there's a red ring around that camera right there. So that's the intelligent camera. So once I turn it towards me now, I'm going to turn the gimbal towards me. All I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to put my palm up like so. I'm going to get the green indication on the actual intelligent camera. And all I'm going to do is just move my body. As you can see, I'm standing up and it's actually focused on me just like that. So, let me just stop it. So with that now, guys, like I mentioned before, so if you're someone who's a solo content creator, you can actually use this to record whatever thing that you're going to be doing, whether it is you're doing a talking head, whatever it is, and you want to just walk around in the seat so it's not so static. This would be the perfect thing for you guys. And one of the things I'm impressed about with this gimbal, guys, is the actual functionality of the buttons right here. So you have the PTF, you also have PF, and you also have FPV. I'll put those on the screen, the meanings for each of those. And not only that, you get let me just lock the camera real quick. You also get a nice big screen on here, and you can see the screen right there, guys. So what I'm going to take you guys now into is how easy it is for you to actually balance this gimbal here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my screen to the orientation that I would want it if I'm doing any kind of recording. So what I did was I put the screen on my camera out to a particular angle so that when I'm walking, I can actually look down at what is happening. I also have 2 additional accessories that I'm going to show you guys, which is really good with this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to change the actual lens on my camera now. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, the gimbal is actually locked. I'm going to remove the lens. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in the longer lens. So with the longer lens in on the gimbal now, like I mentioned, this is my 135 lens. So what I'm going to do now, the first thing that you need to do, guys, is you're going to unlock the first axis, all right? So with that, I'm just going to unlock it. As you can see, the lens is actually causing the gimbal to tilt forward, all right? All right, so what we're going to do now, there's a mechanism on the right-hand side right here that you're going to do. You're just going to release it. Once you release it, you're now able to use this dial right here. And with that dial now, you can move the camera either backwards or forward, just that easy. So I'm just going to bring it back to a point where the gimbal is actually very steady. So it's not moving forward or backward. So we know that that part is actually locked in. So let me just lock that. Once that is locked now, I'm going to tilt the camera upwards. All right, so I have my eyepiece on here. Let me just take it off because I'm using a bigger lens right now. So let me just make sure that it's actually balanced. So because I take off the eyepiece right there, you can notice that it's actually changed what was there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna unlock this again one more time. So let's just lock it in and let's see. and it's nicely steady. So now if I roll it forward, you should see that it's actually, we need to balance this section now. So then what we're going to do now is we're just going to unlock here, and then all we do is just kind of slide this a little bit forward like so, and that's balanced. Let's just lock it in. And one of the things I really enjoy too about this gimbal is that they actually put a Teflon coating on here that allows you to slide the arms a little bit easier. All right, so that is good. And that is, let's just check that. It's going a little bit back. So all I'm gonna do is just readjust that. All right, so we're pretty good, guys, right here. As you can see, that's pretty good. So that's done. I'm just gonna lock it back. Now, the next thing now we're gonna do the roll. So we're gonna unlock that, and as you can see, it's actually rocking that way. So all I'm gonna do is unlock this and then just kind of slide it. I think that looks good. So I'm just gonna lock this back. And as you can see, it's actually staying a little bit. Once you see that, you know that you're good. It's locked in. So I'm just gonna close it back. Now the next section is just to do here, which is the pan. So now I'm going to tilt this forward. If you notice that it's not actually moving, as you can see, it's not supposed to do that. When I turn it like this, it's supposed to actually stay in position. So all I'm going to do is unlock this. I'm just going to slide this back a little bit, tilt it forward. And I think that looks good. Let's just lock it. And it's staying right there, staying right there. It's moving a little bit. So let's just adjust that a little bit more. And that's what I mean, guys, like you can do easy micro adjustments and it allows you, and that looks good. That looks good. Okay, so now I'm just going to lock it back. So now, once I have done all the balancing on the gimbal, now I'll turn back the power, unlock it. Let me swipe up. It's showing me that there's a green, this green right here. Let me just show you guys that. You can see that there's a green icon on the camera. That is showing me that the gimbal is recognizing that it's actually balanced. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move this back over. I'm actually monitoring myself on my phone. So the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that it's actually balanced. So to the right of that, to the left of the green icon that I showed you, I'm just going to tap it, making sure. And I want you guys to actually see the action of it actually happening. Just like that. And I'm just going to tap, start calibrating. It's going to go through its motion of just actually moving all the arms and making sure that everything is working in a cohesive manner. You hear the sound? Good. So now once your calibration has completed, you're going to get two indications, whether it's done properly or it was done correctly. In this instant, it was done correctly. I'm just going to show you guys. So if you look at that right there, you're going to see a green check mark right there. All right. So that shows me that my gimbal has been balanced. All right. So knowing that it's balanced now, I'm just going to click on the OK. And that's it. That's how easy it actually is, guys. That's why I said for someone who has no real experience with gimbals, it is very easy to just pick this up and get going using it. Like I said, in the video that I introduced to you guys in the beginning, I literally just used the default settings. I didn't change anything. I just went in. All I did was balance the gimbal and I went out and just start working. So what I'll also do, guys, is I'm going to show you guys a quick unboxing of what is included inside the actual combo box itself. Let's get into that video. The one thing that I didn't probably show you guys in the unboxing is this actually came with it. This is the actual phone holder that you can actually use with the gimbal. But before I actually get into that, there's one more function that I want to show you guys, and that is the capability of changing the orientation of the actual gimbal itself. So in other words, right now it's on the horizontal. I want to do more vertical, like to do a reel for Instagram, if you want to do a short for YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lock my gimbal. Once I lock it, I'm gonna put the screen back inside with the camera. I'm just gonna turn this to the side so you guys can actually see what is actually going on. So right here now there's a little ring on the back. All I'm gonna do is I'm going to unlock that. Once you unlock it, you press it in, and that's how easy it is to remove the camera from the gimbal. But once you do that, all you do now, there's a little space in the back, and then I'm just going to lock this in just like that. So now we also have to test to see whether or not, because we have to do a rebalance unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is unlock this. So the one thing I noticed now, guys, and I think it's very important to point out, is the gimbal, because of the size of this lens, is not going to be able for me to balance this because it's actually touching the back of this screen. So I think for the short form, for the vertical stuff, I think it's better if you actually use a smaller lens, because I don't think the telephoto is going to be able to be balanced easily with this because it's actually touching the back of the lens. But you have to keep in mind, guys, that this is the actual mini. So kind of set your expectations accordingly. So at least we kind of figured it out together, because like I said, this is the first time I'm actually putting this lens on this gimbal in this orientation. So now that you know, guys, that this longer lens will not be able to work in this orientation with this gimbal because it is actually the mini. I think the larger version would be a more preferable choice. All right, so what we'll do is just for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to switch back out the lens. Now I should be able to balance this gimbal. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unlock this. Like so, and I think that is good. So let's lock that in. Let's just test and see if it's actually, we'll be able to go like this. So as you can see, this part is actually off. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna readjust that. Almost there, and I think that's good. So let's just lock this back. Let's just test right here. So this is a little bit off now, so we have to readjust this, and I don't think that's good. Just lock it back, and you can see now both orientation has been locked in. So now if I close this back, all right, so now that we have balanced the camera here, what we're gonna do now is I'm just going to press the power button to unlock the axis. Once you unlock the axes now, I'm gonna swipe up. This is a perfect example now, guys, so you'll know whether or not you actually balance your gimbal incorrectly. You're gonna see that red around that camera. So now that we know that we didn't balance our camera, reason being because we only did the top section here. So I'm going to, you hear that little beep? It's telling me that I need to lock it and balance my camera. Now what I need to do is check the roll first. So now at least we get to see that in action. So I'm going to unlock this. And then now you can see that it's actually rotating that way. I'm just going to unlock this too. And all I'm going to do now, make sure this is all the way out. So now, right about there looks good. Let's just lock this back. It's looking good right there. You can check that. This is actually staying up, which is good. So I'm going to lock this back. Now we're going to go to the pan section right here. Tilt this forward, turn this way. It's moving just slightly. So I'm gonna just unlock this. Just gonna slide this forward just a little bit right there, and I think that looks good. Let's just do that. Oops. And let's just do this. That's moving a little bit, so let's just slide this a little bit more. More. And that looks good. Okay, so now that is actually good. Let's just lock it back. So now if we should actually unlock, let me swipe up. Now it's actually showing green. And this is without me even doing the calibration yet. As you can see there, it's actually green. So the good thing is that we now know that this is actually balanced, but I personally still like to do the calibration, so I'm going to actually do it. And I'll just calibrate. So now our gimbal has been balanced, and we can actually go ahead and use this in whatever format. Love it, guys. Absolutely love it. All right, so what else would you need to know about this gimbal? Is this gimbal for persons like myself who is new to the gimbal ecosystem? Yes. This is definitely something that you can actually pick up and go and just go out there and just start shooting. The only thing that I'll do is just to add is you have this here, guys, that is actually used for phone. I'll take this out. So now you can actually put your phone in and balance on the gimbal. Not only that, I bought an extra accessory. So as you know that the screen on your camera is too small, this is an actual additive that goes on the side of the actual gimbal itself, and it comes with the arm for the phone right there. This is the arm for the phone, and it also comes with this attachment as well right here. Right? So with that, and then it comes with an Allen key. Actually, it comes with two, a large one and a small one. All right, and like I mentioned before, this is from Small Rig. All right, and this is the 4301 if you guys want to know that. So I'm going to show you how to actually get this actually on the gimbal itself. So if you look at the side right here, guys, let's just focus on the side right here. As you can see right here, guys, this is where the arm is actually attached. If you rotate this and slide it down, you're able to remove it. If you notice now, if you look right here and right here, you're going to see two screws. This is where you can actually use this, because it has the two screws right here, and you can actually put it on the side just like that, and you just screw it in. If you don't want to do that though, you can actually put this back on like so. Then now you have a little opening right here, but with this, you can actually, I'm just kind of focus on my hands right there. You can actually use this section here to actually tighten it on. So now, if I want, I can put it in this orientation where it's straight on. I'm just kind of make you guys be able to see that, right? You can do the straight on, or you can actually readjust and put it like that. Because more than oftentimes, you're going to be standing over once you start tilting the gimbal forward. Remember, just lock it just to make sure it's locked. So with that now, you can actually rotate this top piece here in whatever rotation angle you want to have it in. You can actually pivot this down or up of your choosing. And let me just show you actually how it looks with the phone in there. You can see what that actually looks like with the phone in there. And like I said, you're going to be standing most of the time over your actual gimbal itself, so you can actually look down on a bigger screen than just a small screen on your camera. And with this now, when you have your camera in this orientation, oftentimes your screen is going to be on the lower end. Like you can see here, I do have the screen, we're going to be flipping down. So this would be perfect for you to use this with this gimbal. And you can just actually start using it like so. Let me just unlock. So if I'm actually working, you can see now I can readjust the orientation. So right now it's off. I can just take this off and put it like that. So now I'm actually seeing what my camera would be seeing. In this case, I'm using this camera right now. It's attached to this camera, but I'm actually using it now. I can actually have this like this, and I'm walking, and I actually can just look at my screen and monitor what is happening. You can see my exposure and everything else on my screen here. So I think it's perfect for someone who's like a solo content creator like myself, who's just looking to do projects when they don't have any help from anyone else. If you're on a job or whatever, if you didn't hire anyone, you can actually have these kind of things to actually help you to make your job a lot easier. Not to mention that having this AI camera to actually follow you while you work is an extra bonus on top of that. But not only that, guys, like I mentioned before, this is an actual game that you can actually take it out the box, charge it up, and just go straight in the field and start using it, guys. And I love the fact that it's very user-friendly. The menus, everything is very easy to follow. You don't have to think about, you don't even have to read a manual, because I never did. It was so easy to get around on this gimbal. But that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you did, smash that like button, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe for more. And I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.